Hello and welcome to the HQ Movie Review Podcast. I'm Josh.
I'm Jack.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Heather.
And this week we watched Teen Titans, Trouble in Tokyo.
Yeah. We also watched all of the Teen Titans before this.
But we won't be going over that.
I mean, we
Maybe
might.
we can.
Yeah,
We'll reference it. We won't be going over all of it.
This movie was an hour and 15 minutes long. We can probably mention some of the stuff from the series.
We're not allowed to. Nothing.
This is movies only. All right? We have never once talked about anything that was not the movie we just watched.
Definitely not Star
Yes.
Wars.
No, not Star Wars at all.
I don't know why you would even bring it up.
Does that mean I can't talk about the Teen Titans Go to the movies?
I mean, you definitely can't talk about that.
I don't think we should talk about Teen Titans Go.
Also, I haven't seen that movie.
It's not great.
It's real bad.
It sounds like a dumb premise for a movie.
It is
No,
a
they
dumb
don't.
premise.
I mean, they do actually.
But
really.
I would watch it again just for the last joke of the movie.
Why not just watch the last joke and that's it?
Because there's some funny bits in the movie. Also, the song that Robin sings it's a fucking bop,
All
man.
right, listen, I will say this on this subject and nothing more. I am not a fan of Teen Titans Go.
I don't blame you.
I grew up with Teen Titans. I did hate Teen Titans Go at the beginning. I understand that it is not for me, okay? I don't hate it now. I just don't enjoy the humor. It's not made for me. I can accept that. I think it would have been a better idea just to make new characters and do a new show instead of doing what they did. But
How
I
long-
understand that it's not for me.
How long after Teen Titans was canceled did they make Teen Titans Go?
It was like a year.
Yeah, it was not
Yikes.
a long time.
Like, the Teen Titans ended. They had some Teen Titans shorts on DC Nation. Cartoon Network had a segment called DC Nation where they had like Teen Titans and the Green Lantern show, which was also good and was canceled. And one of the things they did was they had shorts that they animated for Teen Titans that they played, and they continued those shorts. And then they're like, hey, we can make a show out of this where it's the Teen Titans but comedy. And then they did Teen Titans Go.
Teen Titans was already comedy.
Okay,
It
it
had enough
wasn't.
comedy.
It wasn't that short of a time. Teen Titans ended in 2006, which is when this movie came out. So Teen Titans proper ended in 2006. Teen Titans Go first aired in 2013.
What? Felt like it was less time than that. You know, I think it was probably because the shorts were in the style of Teen Titans Go, so it didn't feel like any time had passed.
Yeah. So Teen Titans Go didn't actually start until 2013. Because I remember when Teen Titans Go was first being like promoted, and I was like, oh man, they're bringing back that show from like years ago. Because for me, that was a long period of time because I was 12.
Well, there's no need to say hurtful things like that.
Yeah.
That period of time was a good portion of my life at that point.
And yet you continue to say the things.
Because I know it hurts you.
I never watched any of this growing up.
Right.
You had a
so-
bad childhood.
I mean, you're not wrong.
But that was the reason we were watching Teen Titans in the first place.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And I was always interested in superhero stuff. I just never got to watch any of it really, except for like the Batman movies, you know, and the movies that came out as I grew up. I never got to watch any superhero shows.
I really wish we had time to watch Batman the Animated Series.
It's so good.
I mean, we can.
Okay, but if we watch it, we have to watch Batman Beyond and Justice League Unlimited and the Superman animated adventures and Static Shock.
Is
You
that
can't
all
just-
before we get to that?
No,
No.
but those are all related.
They're all connected.
You don't
Like,
have
Technically-
to watch all of them.
Why are we just going to stop in the middle of that universe?
yeah, because there are crossover episodes, and it's like, hey, what's going on with this? Because it's from a different series, and you don't know what's going on. All of these shows aired either relatively close to each other or simultaneously, so things would happen in one show that directly affected the other ones.
Well, not to that. This wasn't like the CW, like, Arrowverse.
Yeah, it wasn't.
There was no actual, like, you don't have to watch the other ones, but we should.
Yeah,
Plus, Static Shock's really good.
Static Shock was pretty good.
Those were different statements. Anyway, Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo.
So the Teen Titans go to Tokyo.
That they do.
Well, wait. We start in their home city, which I
Jump-
don't know
Jump
the name
City.
of.
Jump City.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it's
Have they ever said that?
They said it once, I think.
Yeah.
That's a dumb name.
It's said like once.
Yeah, no.
They otherwise just refer to it as the city.
Yeah. I
Because-
don't remember where Titans East are located. Is that one just called East City?
Probably.
I think so.
It's not great. But yeah, so we start out in Jump City. I really like the first attack by Psychotech because it does immediately hint at the ink nature. When like they destroy his arm and it comes back in like CMYK before like stopping on Cyan.
Josh is like thinking
K.
through the letters you said. It's black.
K is black, yeah. CMYK is the abbreviation for cyan, magenta, yellow, black.
Yeah, I got the other ones. I was just confused when you said the K because I had never heard of it.
No, because if you just put B, people think it's blue.
I guess.
Yeah,
Still, I just that was why I was confused.
no problem. But yeah, no, I thought it was a nice touch that they are hinting at the twist throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
Name aside.
What?
The name of the villain?
Oh. So yeah. So remember, I watched this in like when it came out. So like 2006 ish. I don't know, somewhere around there. I was in high school. I never really watched anime or anything like that until I was well into college. And so a lot of the Japanese culture references and Japanese language references in this movie just went right over my head. And now that I have a understanding of a lot of the language and culture stuff, the name of the villain.
I mean, honestly, Brush Shogun, I don't think it even really takes that much. It's Brush and Shogun.
Yeah, but
It's so stupid.
back in 2006, I didn't know what a shogun was.
Yeah,
I
because you
still
didn't watch
don't know.
Codename Kids Next Door either. They had a whole episode with a villain named the Cheese Shogun, and he was a samurai made of cheese. You don't need all of Japanese culture to get that one.
Yeah, but I didn't know what that one was either. I was like, oh, it's just this weird sword dude.
All right, well, that's on you.
Did you not know what a samurai
I
was?
mean, I knew what a samurai was, but
A
when he called
shogunate?
him a shogun, I just like, oh, that's a name.
Okay, all right, well.
All right.
Anyway,
I'm glad no one heard me.
What did you say?
I
I'm
didn't
gonna
know what
amplify-
shogun. I didn't know what
a
shogun meant.
Shogun's just a general.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just general.
Listen, I'm not as much of a weeb as you guys are.
That's just general history.
I see what you did there.
That show's canceled.
I never took world history. I only took U.S. history.
Yeah, same here.
So,
Did you watch History of the Entire World, I guess, on YouTube?
No,
yes.
Did you watch the
We'll have to watch
history
Josh,
of
you've
Japan?
absolutely seen that.
not at the time.
Oh, well, yeah, but
I mean, yes, I have now, but not at the time I hadn't.
Anyway,
Yeah, so watching it through, knowing that Brandon hadn't seen this movie, I was just laughing to myself about the name of this villain. Is literally, it says Brush and Shogun put together, and it's like, oh
he is
well,
the
if you
painting general.
if you know what the villain's powers are, it's just so on the nose. It's hilarious.
it wasn't that funny.
It really wasn't at the time.
No, and I still say that it's not exactly like hilarious, but I was more laughing at the fact that I didn't know all those years ago and how silly it is. And just, I was mostly laughing at my ignorance at the time.
That's fair. Another scene where that shines is when Starfire first learns Japanese.
Yeah.
She she kisses this random dude in the street. And having seen the series, we know that Starfire's people learn languages by kissing, which is honestly weird and doesn't make sense. But we can talk about that later.
Well, like, they didn't even talk about that in the series.
No,
No.
They just showed it.
yeah, they showed
Yeah.
it happen once, and then never explained it. But she kisses this guy, and then asks him which they were looking for Shinjuku.
I don't know.
Was that it? They were looking for someplace.
Spinjitzu.
This is not a
Nope,
Lego
stop that.
Ninjago podcast.
Anyway, knowing a little bit of Japanese, it's very easy to understand their entire conversation. And so it's really funny. At the end of it, she's like, hey, where's this place? He's like, oh, it's that way. She's like, thank you. He's like, I love you. And that joke isn't explained in the movie.
Yeah.
There's no subtitles for this conversation.
Literally just says speaking Japanese.
Yeah. The other moment that just made me laugh so hard was when Beast Boy was like sitting and reading a comic, and this random girl shows up and just says otaku to his face. And he's like, what does that mean?
No, he's specifically like, otaku, does that mean I'm cute? Like, Beast Boy claims to be this huge comic book nerd, like, specifically for manga, and he does not know what otaku means. Spoilers, it's not positive. That's not a spoiler for the movie, that's spoilers for real life. They never explain it in the movie.
You're right, they never do explain what that means.
This girl walks up, calls him a weeb to his face, and then runs away.
And then he chases her, ends up in a karaoke bar, and badly sings a translated version of the Japanese opening.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that later, but I do really like the payoff of the Japanese theme song opening that's been playing frequently throughout the entire series. They translate it for this movie, and they translate it directly, and its lyrics are complete nonsense. It's amazing.
Earthquakes, lightnings, fire, dad.
Yeah.
So according to the IMDb trivia, the joke about earthquakes, fire, lightning, dad is it's supposed to be the 4 things that Japanese people are afraid of.
That. Okay.
Oh no! Oh no!
That's terrible.
It's
It's
so
very
bad.
bad. But you know,
See, at first I was just worried about Puffy Amiyumi, but now...
But, I mean, and then they do go on to list, like, school subjects.
English, math, science, social studies, there's nothing I am afraid of. But, like... Yowza, that's...
That's,
The fact that it's not just, hey, the singer is scared of their dad. It's like, no, this is a stereotype about the entire nation. Interesting.
big oof.
I mean, I guess it's much funnier coming from the culture that the joke is about. But I don't know. I'm not Japanese. So, back to the top of the movie. They get to Japan, and the first thing that happens is they're attacked by Dollar Store Godzilla.
Yep.
Oh my goodness. Looks terrible.
It did. It had
Well-
tiny little hands.
Well, no, the joke here is that it's the Godzilla rubber suit from the old movies. So his hands are human-sized, but he has the proportions of a man in a giant Godzilla suit. He also has, like, the seams on his body and stuff.
That's funny. I didn't notice that.
Neither did I.
No, it's really good. It does call into question why, at the end of the movie, he doesn't summon a bunch of Godzillas. Like, the end of the movie, he's like, alright, cool, I'm going to turn into a giant monster and then summon a bunch of the jobber villains that you guys fought before.
But different colors.
Yes, but now the colors are all mixed up because we're rushing this print job.
well, I feel like the Godzilla monsters would have been too much and caused too much damage, whereas he was just trying to like take care of them before the city woke up.
I mean, I guess, but also he did turn himself into a giant ink monster.
Yeah.
That I feel like they would have noticed that.
Was he planning on coming back from that? Because I feel like
Probably
once you turn
not.
into a giant ink monster, you're pretty much...
Yeah, he did also destroy his evil factory.
Yeah.
So I don't know what his plan was.
You're locked into that course of action at that point.
Like as soon as that happened, he's like, okay, it's world domination or death.
Yeah.
I have 2 options.
Speaking of the villain, I both like and dislike the twist that it was Commander Daiso.
I mean, it was fairly obvious.
It was fair-
in the
No.
very beginning.
It's super obvious. This is not a brain teaser of a twist, but they did kind of also cheat. Like, from the moment the movie starts showing us the quote-unquote brush shogun silhouette, he is super buff, and he talks with a completely different voice.
Yeah, it's not even
And then we
close
see-
the same.
And then we see Commander Daiso, and he is a very skinny man in a trench coat. Or I guess it's a duster.
Yeah.
But, like, he has this very high-pitched voice, and I understand that, oh yeah, maybe he's just changing his voice, but also, when we see him as a silhouette, he's alone and talking to no one except for Brush Shogun, who knows who he is. So who's he putting on this voice for?
It's just fun.
This is my evil voice.
It's how he gets in the mood.
Also, I just love when it comes to the reveal. It's like he goes from his like silhouetted form to like being directly lit, so you can see it's Daiso. But he's Daiso without the hat, and then he puts the hat on.
Yeah.
Because the hat would have given away the silhouette.
Yeah, but also, when they show him that time, he's skinny again because they can't make him less buff when they do the reveal. So he's super buff in every silhouette shot except for the one where they have to put the light on him at the end of it.
Yeah. And also his voice was like clearly just a bit different as like a middle ground to get to Daiso's regular voice.
Yeah, it's a fun reveal narratively. They did kind of cheat with the animation. Also, as long as we're talking about this reveal, the Tokyo Troopers is a huge organization. It's way too big for them to all be Inc. Like, there are hundreds of employees at this thing. There's training. They have living quarters. There's no way that this huge thing has 0 employees and no one in Japan noticed.
Yeah. Hundreds at the minimum. You saw that like the training sequence when they're walking through like they have hourly training and they like zoom out. There's hundreds of like soldiers there.
Yeah, in that shot alone. This organization is way too big. So when they're fighting them and like Robin knocks off the helmet, he's like, "Oh, they're Inc. We can go all out." It's like, hold on. I feel like there have to be some real people who work for this company. They'd be way too suspicious if no one knew anyone who worked for them. It's like there's no one is applied to the Tokyo Troopers ever.
Just in the middle of fighting, Robin just rips out a human heart, and he's like, "Oh fuck!"
Guys, I take it back. Some of them are real.
Be careful.
Knock the helmets off, then go for the kill. I also like that the Tokyo Troopers are very much just like a militarized Power Rangers. Or like Sentai in general. It's not specifically Power Rangers. There's a lot of other Sentai stuff.
I was gonna say they look a lot like Seiya Man from Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, it's the same joke. I'm almost surprised they didn't have like a giant mech like combination robot. Like their cars transform into one big Voltron-esque robot.
They were still trying to get the budget for it.
I mean, I feel like it would have been dumb if they had like some combined big mech form when we get the big ink monster in the main guy anyways.
Well, I
feel like you can't have both.
I figured the big mech robot would have come into play in the Godzilla fight, which would have been classic Sentai.
Maybe that was why he had the Godzilla show up, so that he could request funding for a giant robot to fight the Godzillas next time.
I mean, I guess, but like clearly no one is looking at the books for this company because he doesn't pay anyone. Why would he need funding? Just draw it. Just make the robot out of ink. If you make all the employees out of ink, what's the difference?
That's true.
I'm surprised they had real cop cars. Also, did they replace the cops?
I mean, it certainly seems like it.
Like the Tokyo Troopers is a company that this guy founded.
Also, did they say that the ink creatures weren't waterproof?
Yeah, the first psychotech like trips the fire sprinkler and disappears.
Yeah. So literally his entire police force cannot go out in the rain.
Yeah. It's a huge oversight.
There's a tsunami and everyone's just fucked.
Yeah, for real. Like crime spikes when it rains cuz suddenly there's no Tokyo Troopers.
Oop, looks like it's gonna start sprinkling.
We have to arrest this guy fast.
Or just let him go.
You know what? That's why they have real cop cars. So they can still drive around in the rain.
They're just like, "Hey, get in the car." No, don't run. Stop. Stop running.
You
Get in the
come
car.
over here.
Both of you think they even like gave orders
Just ran him over.
when Robin busts out on the motorcycle, like when he's disguised as the biker gang guy, they immediately just start fucking shooting. They didn't say shit. They didn't know it was Robin.
Well, I think it's implied that they did know it was Robin somehow because when they stop him on the bridge, he's like, "It's over, my friend."
Yeah, but like that's when you can clearly see him, and you go, this is Robin. Like when he first busts out, there's no way you can be like, this is clearly Robin.
realistically, no. We did see earlier that Daiso has surveillance all over the city and was tracking them. So he probably saw Robin get away.
I guess. But still, they were very much like, shoot first, don't even ask questions.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
it's not America.
they were cops.
It's not America.
Yeah, but they also aren't human, so.
Yeah.
Fair. I really like that. They did bring up a good point when Robin was like in jail for murder.
Yeah.
Robin's like, this stuff isn't blood. That guy wasn't human. And Daiso's like, yeah, your friends aren't human. And Robin's like, well, like, that's a good point. I realize, like, clearly they're not alive. Like, by the end of the movie, it's explained that the ink creatures are not technically alive. But also, at the beginning of the movie, they're like, yeah, but Psychotech was scared. Like, they have emotions, I think. So, it's a weird gray area.
Yeah.
It's a weird magenta area.
Okay.
Can you even see magenta?
No, I cannot.
Man, how wild was this movie for you?
It was fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's relatively little green.
I mean, there's Beast Boy.
Yeah, but... Oh shoot, actually, hold on. So in the arcade scene, when they have the weird palette swap Beast Boy, did he look a different color? Did his skin look a different color to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Because from my understanding of it, red and green kind of look like brown if you have red-green color blindness, right?
So the way I always explain it is just that, like, normal people can see something like 12 million different shades, right? I can probably see like 5 million instead of 12 million. And so most of it is just like, I can't name a color, but I can see it. And some of them get mixed up.
Huh. Fair enough.
And everyone's color blindness is different anyways. Like, unless you're grayscale, then, you know.
Oh.
But
Fair point.
colorblind adjacent with HQ Movie Review. Brought to you by today's game show.
Oh, snap.
We're dropping in this early, okay.
Still
Alright.
don't have a name for this game show, but we're gonna keep
Brandon,
doing it.
get your shit together, man. Name it.
The still unnamed game show.
No, stop that.
Earthquake, Fire, Lightning, Dad, the game.
From Hasbro? It sounds like something Hasbro would make.
I Hasbro.
That is a Game Grumps joke.
And
So this was a little difficult. There are only 25 user reviews on IMDb for this, so there is not a large selection.
Pickings were slim.
Yes, but I managed to find a few. So we'll start with this first one. It's just titled "The Importance of Voice Acting."
oh no.
I will remind you it's a scale of 1 to 10.
Okay.
All right. The importance of voice acting. That's so oddly, like, it's not neutral. It's very much like this person really likes the voice acting, or this person thinks the voice acting sucked.
Opinionated.
Yeah.
I'm
It's an
gonna say-
opinionated title, but it can be either way.
I'm gonna say 7.
I'm gonna go with 3.
I'm gonna say 8.
The answer is 6.
Dang it.
Ah,
Hey.
Heather gets 1 point.
I was on the right half of the scale.
This person obviously loves all the voice actors from the main show. They think they're the main stars, but
Okay.
they didn't really like any of the music, and the story was just like okay for them, and they liked the ending, which is why they
Okay.
gave it a 6.
Okay.
Interesting. I thought the music was actually really good.
I mean, if you don't know that Beast Boy's version of the song is just a literal translation from Japanese to English,
Then it's just a shitty version.
yeah,
of the
then it's just a
song.
shitty version of the song.
I mean, no, that's a funny joke. I meant like the background music was really good. It had a lot of the regular Titans flair, but with a definitely more traditional Japanese bend to it.
My problem with the background music wasn't the actual music; it was the mixing. I think it was a
was
little
just-
loud.
Yeah, and there were like some scenes where it was just almost non-existent sometimes. It was either loud or basically not there. There were some mixing problems.
Like, there were a couple of sequences where the background music was so loud the characters were yelling, and it was barely louder than the background music.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I don't know.
No, it was definitely there.
Okay. Question 2.
It's not really a question, but yeah. Second user review. Tara Strong is no Keke Palmer. Or is she?
All right.
What?
Okay.
Okay.
All right, real quick. I know the name Keke Palmer, but I cannot remember.
Is
Did you ever see Akilah and the Bee?
Yes. Okay.
That's her.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with this?
I'm gonna go with 8.
I'm gonna say 7 again.
I'm gonna say 5. But also,
This is just a crapshoot. It's 4, so Jack gets the point.
Oh
Yay.
wow.
cool. What? Explain
What?
to me
What
that
was
title.
that?
They don't mention Tara Strong in their comment
Did they
or
mention-
Keke Palmer.
What?
They talk about like the voice actors. They said they're disappointed Puffy Amiyumi didn't make a guest appearance.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, because at this time they had their own show, right?
Yeah, this is Hi Hi Puffy Amiyumi was on air when this aired, I think.
But yeah, their actual comment starts with, "Well, Batman isn't the only masked man/boy/creature that can do movies. This isn't your traditional Robin character. This Robin is a leader of a bunch of teenage superheroes in a building obviously the heroes can't pay for. But
Okay,
that's
so-
beside the point."
I don't think this person has seen the show.
Dang.
Well, no. The next paragraph. The Titans go to Tokyo believing something is up, and for a while think it was an excuse for a vacation, but turns out the original reason is right and have to fight. This is very bad grammar.
Are they just detailing what the movie is?
Yeah.
What is
Kinda.
this review?
Yeah, this
This
person
review
has
is
never
hurting
seen
me.
the show Teen Titans.
This review is physically causing me pain.
Yeah, and then they go on to talk about Puffy Amiyumi, and they say the conflict wasn't as much as they wanted. The bad guys weren't as bad as the Joker or Green Goblin, which, like, none of the villains for the Teen Titans
Green
are.
Goblin.
Why did Green Goblin come up?
I mean,
Fucking wrong franchise.
honestly, Slade is one of their worst villains, and they really tone him down because the show was for children.
Yeah.
Once again, this person has not seen Teen Titans, the show.
Probably not. I have a bonus point for this. At the very end, they give it a grade on, like, the A to F grading scale. And I'll give a bonus point if anyone can guess what that grade is.
C-.
D.
I was gonna say D also.
You guys are right around it. It's a D+.
Ah!
But I'm not going to give any points because no one got it
Equidistant.
exactly.
Dang.
What's the difference between a C- and a D+?
I don't know. I didn't get either in school.
Some kind of... Wow, it's a weird place to brag about it, bud.
Or maybe he just got below that.
Only Fs. So no bonus points for anyone.
Yeah,
Dang.
no bonus points. No one got it. Let me find this last one.
Yeah, we're 1-1, and Josh.
It could be a three-way tie.
I'm consistently the farthest from the correct answer.
You are net -1 for your entire score across all podcast episodes.
That's right, when he got
Yep.
one deducted.
Okay. This review. Meh. Not as good as Teen Titans Go.
I'm sorry, what?
This person.
What?
Get the hell out of here.
I'm gonna say 6.
I'm gonna say 5.
Fuck. Oh.
That's not a number, Josh.
I'll go 4.
So, Heather said 6, Jack said 5, you said 4.
Correct.
They gave it an 8.
Wow.
Oh my gosh!
This person's like 8 years
What?
old. They don't know how titles work, and they don't have good taste.
The only
And
thing...
consistently, the farthest from the correct score.
So, the only thing this person said was, it was good. Romance between Robin and Starfire was disgusting.
Yeah, no, this is a child. They
And-
think kissing is gross.
And Raven should have been in it more.
I mean, that's fair. She
I mean, that's a
she
fair.
did kind of get shafted on screen time, but also, this is a child.
If it's any consolation, 0 out of 9 find this helpful.
So stupid.
We
How
can,
are you gonna go meh and then go 8 out of 10?
I'll do one more. Sometimes we do 4.
We have our traditional tiebreaker, even though there's no tie.
There's no
Yeah,
tie.
I mean sometimes we do 4, and if there is,
Yeah.
if
And-
Jack gets this one,
And
then,
then there will be a tie.
Then there will be a tie, and we'll go to the tiebreaker.
Good.
Somehow it's always best of 5, even though there's 3 rounds.
This person said, "I used to love this movie as a kid, but now it sucks."
All right. I'm going
4.
to say 5.
3.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a tie.
Oh, wow.
They gave it a 1,
Oh, wow.
Damn it.
Yowza.
They do not like this movie.
and they gave me an itemized list.
Oh,
Oh.
boy.
Here are my top 3 reasons why Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo sucks nowadays.
What is this, Watch Mojo?
No, that's top 10.
Anime Betrayals.
1. As a Western viewer, I am sick and tired of all the Japan-related stereotypes present throughout this movie.
Interesting.
Okay.
As a Western viewer?
Yes,
Yeah,
as a
that's-
Western viewer.
Okay.
All right.
2. Contrary to popular belief, not everything about Japan focuses on anime and manga in real life.
I'm
mean-
really curious about where this person's coming from.
Yeah, what are they believing people believe?
3. There's more things to explore in Japan in real life than anime and manga. For example, Tokyo Disney Resort and even Universal Studios Japan
Did they
are perhaps one of the most Western-friendly theme parks in Japan.
Okay, but here, bud. Look here.
Did they
You're
think-
watching an anime!
Did they think the Teen Titans were gonna go to Disney?
They go on to say, I wouldn't recommend this movie at all if you're tired of seeing various Japan-related stereotypes in various Western-produced media in general.
Stop watching anime!
Also,
There's
like,
too much anime in this anime!
there's like 2 things that are like a lot of it is just, hey, they're in a town. Cyborg just goes to a restaurant. What's the reference? That they're speaking Japanese?
Like, yeah, there's some like references, but that comes with the territory of being an animated film.
I love that their second point was that they focus too much on anime and manga, and their third point was they focus too much on anime and manga, but Disney exists.
Yeah. Just go to Universal. Because that's the reason the heroes went to Japan. Western culture.
I'm tired of the, as a Western viewer, I'm tired of the stereotypes. Anyway, go to Disney.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Oh, that's great.
Okay,
Did you
so
watch Holes?
I think it's on the list.
No, we did watch Holes.
Oh, you watched
Did we?
it? Damn,
Aw.
that would be a great podcast.
Maybe
Anyways,
someday we can put it back on the list.
believe
we
Shia
need
LaBeouf
to do a tiebreaker. So,
That was the tiebreaker.
yeah, well, this is the tiebreaker to the tiebreaker.
Great.
There are no rules here.
But the points do matter. They matter a lot.
Yes, they matter so much.
so much.
So, you guys have to guess the IMDb rating of Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo
Oh, that's right.
on a
that's
scale
what-
from 1 to 10, but you go to the first decimal point.
7.9.
Uh,
I don't know. It
7.2.
just jumped into my heart. I don't know why specifically.
6.8.
Josh, you're not part of this. They tied 2 to 2.
Have this.
All right, but you can't have the point if you get it right.
If I get it right, I get my negative point removed.
What did you say,
I said
Josh?
6.8.
I will give Josh a second shot.
Wait, hang on. Now I get.
Wait.
I
None
don't just
of-
get a first shot, but I get a second shot.
I will give Josh a second shot.
This does nothing to resolve the tie.
6.9.
Heather gets the point at 7.1.
Okay.
She was a 10th off. I just wanted to see if Josh could get it dead on.
Didn't I win the Inception one?
I think you did.
I wasn't actually keeping track. The points don't really matter.
They don't. I just don't, because I've only played this game twice.
Oh boy.
If you're one of the 3 people listening to this, please give me suggestions for the name of that segment.
I don't think they're gonna.
But they could.
They might.
They could
We're on YouTube
find our
and Facebook.
Facebook.
That's for the end of the show. Anyway, I want to talk about Beast Boy. I feel like he doesn't get enough credit. One, he did have a lot of the last storyline of the series.
Yeah.
Like the last season's kind of about him.
What are you talking about? The series finale was about him and Tara.
Yeah, but that didn't go anywhere, so it doesn't count. But like, Beast Boy is right for a lot of this movie, and no one gives him credit. Like, the first thing he wants to do there is go to the comic book shop or the comic book factory, which is where the villain is. And they don't want to go because they're not on vacation.
Look, this whole movie was the DM trying to make the party go on the actual quest and not just go straight to the bad guy.
Yeah, like in the first, I guess not the first scene, but like when they first capture Psychotech and he does the little flip over the table and disappears, Beast Boy's like, yeah, maybe he wasn't waterproof. And like, no, Beast Boy, that's stupid. Shut up. But he was right. Also, he claims not to be a fairy, but if anyone on the team is a fairy, it's Beast Boy.
Yeah.
Like, I really thought that was funny, that like the girl he's been chasing all day was actually one of the ink creatures, and she turns into a cat girl, and Beast Boy suddenly like, maybe not.
I'm not into that.
So, Beast Boy's powers are that he can turn into anything that's an animal, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Would that count?
No.
It's a
No.
living thing,
Well, no. We
Debatably.
established that the ink creatures are not actually living.
I guess. I feel like if it's a sentient being,
Well, it's not connected to the red.
Not the red force.
No, just the red.
The red.
It's not a force. It's just the red.
So stupid.
Why is that the thing that's stupid about this?
I hate that it's the red.
Josh, you're not the colorblind one.
I know.
I would hope you know.
You make a character that's entirely green that can turn into animals, and his power is given to him by some, like, thing called the red. Not the red force. Not the green.
Okay, why would red force be better?
I don't know. Some kind of. It's like. At least keep it common with the other.
Why?
Like,
it's not related to the
forces.
speed force.
I was going to say, it's like if
Yeah.
you just called the Speed Force the Speed.
Okay, but it's
no,
a different
no,
thing.
no,
It's not related.
we cannot call it the speed. That would not work.
He
No.
gets his power from the speed. Okay, but
Yeah, but what I'm
listen.
saying is, at least keep your like random forces of power and nature and shit like named similarly.
No, because they're not related. The speed force and like those colors are not like. First off, he's the red because the green is plants, and that came first. Second, they did make him red in the WoW for the comics, but that was dumb because he's always green, and so they changed him back. But he was red for a while, if that's what you're upset about.
Hang on, you're saying they made him red for a while, but it was dumb because he was green?
No, because Beast Boy is always green, and so for a while they made him red because like, oh yeah, his power comes from the red,
Okay.
so now he's red. But everyone was like, no, that's stupid. Beast Boy is green, so they made him green again.
Okay.
I mean, you could always go by Young Justice origins for Beast Boy.
Hold on, that's a spoiler. Josh hasn't seen that. Josh and Brandon. Wait.
Oh.
Yeah, neither of them have seen that.
Really?
Yeah,
Dang.
it's really good. We're gonna watch it later.
Yeah, you need to watch that.
Anyway,
Point being, it's the red because it's animals and meat.
and I
Meat?
hate it. Anyway.
Meat.
Can he just turn into a steak?
No, things made of meat. Like animals. Or alien animals. Or sometimes demons, depending on where he is.
When is he turned into a demon?
Like in one of the Teen Titans movies, like the New 52 continuity movies, they go to like a demon realm or something. And like he can turn into demons because he's there. And that's what's part of the red there.
Interesting.
But also he can turn into like alien animals and stuff. And in fact, in the comics, he can turn into fictional animals like dragons. And his shapeshifting is much more fluid there. Like he can turn parts of his body into animals instead of the whole thing. It's kind of wild.
Interesting.
Well,
But yeah, if anyone were a fairy, it would be him.
It would absolutely be Beast Boy.
so question. I have not played the games Heather, what was it? Blend?
Bendy and the Ink
Bendy.
Machine.
Bendy and the Ink Machine. I have not played those games.
It's just the one.
Is it just one?
It's just one
oh,
game.
it's the different like expansion packs or whatever.
It's just the different chapters.
Chapters,
Yeah, it's
that's
just
what
one
they are.
game.
So that's what I'm saying. I haven't played it, but like I know about it.
Mm-hmm.
And all I could think of when I heard about this game was that someone saw this movie and went, I'm gonna make a horror game on this.
Kind of.
Sorta.
So like the premise behind Bendy and the Ink Machine is that there was this animation studio that had this super popular like animation way back when, right? That was Bendy the Devil, and they like slowly went out of business and people started leaving, and the guy who was still there running it was making a machine to try and make him like real, and he ended up succeeding.
The devil. He
Bendy.
wanted to make
Yeah.
the devil
Bendy.
real.
Bendy was a devil.
Yeah, like in the same way that like Betty Boop was a dog or Mickey Mouse was a mouse.
What?
Yeah.
We'll go back to that.
Yeah, so because it was like Bendy was very clearly a direct ripoff of Mickey Mouse.
Yes.
Like in his style and everything.
Yeah.
And like the guy who made the Ink Machine sent a letter to the character you're playing, who used to be an animator for the studio.
Okay.
And you get there and you find out the Ink Machine's real, and it can make like living ink creatures.
So what you're telling me is that I was right, and that
Yeah.
they based this very similar to the same basis of this movie.
Now, the thing that's different is that a human can be turned into like a human ink hybrid thing.
You mean like the monster at the end?
Yeah, but not as powerful.
Okay.
Heather, you had an issue with what Jack said?
Which part?
Which I think we know which part.
Yeah. Yes.
Betty was a dog.
Betty who?
Betty Boop was originally a dog, and then they changed her to a human later.
Okay. So I will say that kind of makes sense considering what I know about, like, trivia-wise. Because I found this out when I, like, watched videos on Bendy and the Ink Machine. But one of the things, like, one of the characters in Bendy and the Ink Machine is, an angel. Like, Bendy has a girlfriend. What's her name?
I do not remember.
I've never actually played these games. I
I don't know. I don't remember her name, but she's an angel, and she became more popular than Bendy.
Yeah.
And so that was a direct reference to, like, Betty Boop, because Betty Boop was originally made as just a love interest to a different, like, cartoon character who was a dog.
Yeah.
And so his name was Bimbo.
Oh boy.
The name of the angel from Bendy and the Ink Machine is Alice Angel.
Yes.
Straightforward.
They did also have a direct ripoff of Goofy. I don't remember
Oh,
his
what
name
was
either.
his name?
Yeah, I don't. I have seen him before, and I'm like, that's just
like,
Goofy.
For
It's-
like, sure, for Bendy he like kind of looked like Mickey, but not quite. This
this-
was literally just Goofy,
Yeah.
but in their animation style.
This is paint thinner Goofy from the Epic
And
Mickey series.
one of the first things you see that's like a horror thing is you see
Boris.
Boris. Yes,
His
you
name
see,
was Boris.
You see one of the Borises with their ribs like ripped apart and open, and you just see the chest cavity with like the guts and the blood in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. So it's like that one webcomic that Jack likes.
Well, you can't just drop that and say nothing. It's fucking Shag and Scoob. Also,
Oh, no.
you can't just drop
No.
that and say nothing
Stop.
else.
No.
It's a good series.
I don't want to talk about Shag and Scoob.
It's really good though. I think it's Scoob
don't
and Shag.
care.
Actually,
Also-
I
Hold
don't
on.
care.
I do just have to point out to Heather, you know how Betty Boop has like those dangly hoop earrings?
Yeah.
Those are supposed to be her dog ears.
Yeah.
They just didn't want to like redo that. So they just put another line and made it a hoop earring.
Oh, good.
It's Scoob and Shag. I had it backwards. It's really good. It's the only webtoon I look at.
See, I'll be honest. When you said that Betty Boop was originally a dog, my first thought immediately went, "You mean she's a bitch?"
Wow.
I mean,
Oof.
Yikes.
Technically, yes,
I
but no.
mean- that's what I thought because I was like, "There's no way she's a human." So I was like, "Are you just calling her a bitch.
No, we have only respect for Betty Boop in this house.
I don't know. I've never. The only experience I have had with anything remotely related to Betty Boop is at Universal. Okay.
Never seen Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
No.
You should see that. It's really good.
That's got to be on the movie list, right?
I think it
Yeah,
is.
it absolutely is.
Probably.
Good.
While we're on the topic of animated dogs, Goofy's a dog, not a cow. That keeps going viral.
What? Wait, who thinks Goofy's a cow?
A lot of people
Yeah,
think
what?
Goofy's supposed to be a cow because his love interest is Clarabelle.
Yeah, but her other love interest is Horace Horsecollar, and he's a horse. Clearly, that's not an issue for them.
Yeah. But no, every now and then, Goofy being a cow goes viral, and they think he's supposed to be a cow.
No, that's
Why?
stupid.
It's like,
He's
no,
defi-
he's a
his
dog.
original name was like Dippy Dog.
Yes, his original name was Dippy Dog, D-A-W-G.
Oh no.
Yes. Also, Pete was married to like a Chihuahua, so it doesn't matter.
Isn't
Pete's a cat.
yeah.
We should get back to Teen Titans.
Teen
Are you
Titans.
sure you don't want to talk about the Goof Troop Extended Universe?
Can I interest you in our Lord and Savior? Like,
Montgomery! We went over this.
Can I interest you in our Lord and Savior Montgomery McQueen?
This is so far extrapolated from anything that makes any kind of sense.
Oh boy. Oh, so
I don't even know how we got here.
So whenever Robin like fake kills a guy and feels like actual regret about it,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And if he wasn't Danganronpa, he absolutely would have murdered a guy.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is, for those of you who have not played this, I feel like still relatively obscure murder mystery game.
Oh, yeah.
The blood in Danganronpa is pink, much like the pink psychotech that Robin kills.
Heather, are you okay?
No.
But yeah, that was some really good voice acting. Like he's genuinely upset by this.
Yeah.
And you can tell in his voice.
Which, I mean, like, again, like I said when we were watching it, I feel like Robin has killed people before.
Yeah, but probably not with his bare hands.
Yeah.
And probably not like
Beat to
knowingly.
death.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
probably just been like, let me just throw this person off
Yeah.
a roof.
I kicked this henchman and he fell down and didn't move. He's probably knocked out. And then Robin never saw that henchman again. But how many henchmen do you see multiple times and recognize from each location? Maybe that guy fell on his head and died. Who knows? The important thing is he's never beat a man to death in the middle of a city
With his bare ass hands.
with his bare. They fell off the skyscraper. Robin landed on him and then was punching him still.
Yeah. With a crowd of people like gathering around.
Yeah. And then he got arrested.
I mean,
That
yeah.
was probably a little traumatizing, even for Robin.
Once he found out that they weren't human.
You know, he
Then-
was more than fine after that, but at the time he was like shook.
And it didn't help that then Daiso goes like, I mean, your friends aren't human either.
Yeah, because that really calls the whole thing into question. Like,
Which,
oh,
I mean, let's see. Beast Boy's technically human, right?
yes,
It's debatably human.
no, he
Beast Boy's
is
human. He just has powers.
Yeah, has his metagene activated.
Raven's
It's a
half
thing you'll learn
human.
later.
Yeah.
And
Cyborg is also
Cyborg-
technically half human.
Cyborg was human. He
He
just has
Yeah.
cyborg. He's
He
just
has
a cyborg
all
now.
human DNA.
Cyborg is the most human.
I feel like Robin's
Other
the
than
most human.
Robin.
Robin.
Outside of Robin, of course, but I'm specifically talking about Robin's friends.
Yeah. I mean, the only one who's technically not human is
Starfire.
Starfire.
I feel like you can argue that Beast Boy, Cyborg, and Raven are all half human. Like, I understand Beast Boy is supposed to be a human just with a weird gene, but, like, he can just turn into all these other animals. He's half human at most.
And then, as far as Raven, I thought she was from a different planet. though.
Yeah, but she's from like a different dimension, but they're humans.
Yeah. She's half human, half demon,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Like we see her mom, and her mom's just like a person.
yeah, but they all have like different powers and shit from a different planet.
That's just
That's-
magic.
They
There
just
is much-
study magic.
They're as much human as like the Tamaranians are human.
No, because
No.
they're from a different planet and are actually aliens.
Versus Azarath with a
Which
different
is-
dimension and a different planet.
Okay, hear me out this way. Spider-Verse. Do you think that Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is not considered a human in the MCU. He's from a different dimension.
Yeah, he's still from Earth, though.
Right, so they just call it a different thing.
Okay, so here's the thing. This is my understanding. I could be completely wrong. My understanding is Raven's mom is human. She's from Earth. Got involved in a weird, sketchy cult. After that, when she realized what she had done, she went to Azarath to keep Raven safe. That's my understanding of it. Her mom is human, and she went to Azarath so that Raven could be raised there.
Also that could work too.
Okay.
Point is, the people of Azarath are humans.
So according to Wikipedia, her species has a specific name. Like a human-demon hybrid has a specific name.
I mean,
Okay.
Trigon did have a lot of hybrid children.
She's called a Cambion.
Interesting.
Neat.
The more you know.
I always thought it was odd that Tamaranians had all of the power, like they were basically Kryptonians,
Yeah.
but they didn't come from like a red sun planet. They just all had that power all the time. They just evolved that way.
I mean, sometimes evolution goes really, really well for one species.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, technically it did for the Kryptonians. They just didn't know it.
Yeah.
I guess.
If we can go off on a quick tangent, because I don't think we're ever going to watch Superman Red Sun. It really bothers me that they changed the twist ending for that movie. It was really good. It was one of my favorite parts of the comic, and they just didn't do it, and it's stupid.
What was the twist?
So, at the end of the movie, Superman survives the big space explosion, goes back to Earth, and just kind of watches from a distance as humanity continues to evolve. And then eventually he lives up until the end of the... Like, he just continues living after that, and that's where the movie ends. In the comic, it expands on that, and that he continues to watch Lex Luthor's bloodline as it goes generation after generation until finally they get to far enough in the future where the Luthor family just goes by L, and the sun has expanded into a red giant, and it turns out Earth was Krypton all along, and Superman was a baby sent back in time to try and change the past. That's a wild twist.
Yeah.
What?
And they just cut that part out of the movie. That was the end of the storyline.
That's fucking wild.
Right?
Yeah, man. It's just...
Anyway, they didn't do Superman Red Sun justice, and that is completely unrelated to the movie we just watched, but I had to say that somewhere.
Okay.
It's not completely unrelated. We went on a Bendy and the Ink Machine tangent.
You know what? Fair. Fair and true.
So back to Teen Titans. I guess this doesn't really have anything to do with the movie, but it is related to the show.
Fair enough. Go ahead.
So I didn't really watch it with you guys, but I would like watch episodes every once in a while. And when you guys watched the season 5 finale, not season 6, the season 5 finale,
Not the one season 6 episode.
not that episode, the ones before it, I realized, like Jack had mentioned during that time, I was like, there's just so many DC heroes that I just didn't remember were in Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Like Jericho.
Yeah, like Cheshire, not necessarily a hero, but Cheshire shows up in the last couple episodes, and they expand the cast so wildly in those last like 3 episodes,
Yeah.
and it's just like, oh hey, I remember this person from something else. What are you doing here in Teen Titans in 2006?
Specifically, the reason why Jericho stands out to me is just because I know some like trivia about Jericho that's like, man, if they expanded on his character in particular, things would be wild.
Yeah, or
Like-
if they did anything with Slade.
Yeah. Because Jericho is, well, can I?
You can go ahead.
Okay. Jericho is Slade's son.
Oh, that's...
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's like,
Who
hold on.
fucked Slade?
Well, in the comics,
a disturbing amount of people,
a
honestly.
lot, yeah. Slade
So
has
many people.
Slade has like 3 children at least.
Yeah.
Did he ever get his
Jericho,
flesh
Rose.
back?
In the show? Yeah.
I'm assuming he had the children before that.
Yeah, Jericho was a teenager. But in the show, yes, also he got his flesh back.
Did he?
The robot. It was a robot.
Yeah, that was a robot.
Oh.
No, he got his flesh back in the, like, when he freed all the souls or whatever, he got his flesh back then. Like for the final fight with Trigon, he had his flesh back for that.
Oh, did
Because he gets it and he's like, ah, yes, my own flesh and blood. And then he picks up the cool fire axe thing and walks away.
Oh, okay.
So he had his flesh back then.
Yeah. Because, like, I mean, in the comics, there's Rose Wilson, which is his daughter, Jericho, whose real name is Joseph?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. Jericho's not his real name. And then
Also-
I think there's one more who I can't remember.
Yeah, I also don't remember the third Wilson child. So
But there's
That's-
at least 3 of them. And it's wild.
yeah,
Like, imagine if they expanded on that. That'd be an interesting plot line.
Would it have been better than Teen Titans Go?
Yes.
that's a low bar, but yeah.
Absolutely, it
Listen,
would have been better.
I haven't seen any of Teen Titans Go,
You don't need to.
and I know nothing about the DC universe other than the movies.
There are only 2 points of Teen Titans Go that I actually care about, and it's the 2 times they reference the original Teen Titans show. That's it.
Yeah, Brandon, just translate your question. You said, is it better than absolute shitty garbage?
Now listen, I'm sure children like the show. It's a show specifically for children.
Absolute shitty garbage.
It's not for me, and I don't like it. But
it is
you know
nothing but fart jokes.
what? No, they make poop jokes too. And I'm sad to say that the thing I just said was one of the jokes. One of the complaints in the episode where they talk about the original Teen Titans being a better show, Control Freak is like, all you guys do is make fart jokes, and Beast Boy goes, no, we make poop jokes too. That is his defense.
That's on brand for Beast Boy, though.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you know what? No, there are 3 things. 2 of them are when Teen Titans Go references the original Teen Titans. One of them is a dream sequence from Young Justice where they reference Teen Titans Go. And that sounds awful, but it's actually hilarious. I can't explain anything about it to you because you have not seen Young Justice, but it's you'll know it when we get there.
It's terrible.
Yes, but it's also great. If you know, you know.
All right.
Do we have anything else to say about the movie?
I really like the first kiss fake out where Robin and Sapphire are about to kiss, and then Robin's like, hold on, I've just thought of a clue. There's no time for romance, only justice. We can't be together. Like, he flips on that so fast.
He does.
He was like, just spraying his mouth.
Yeah.
10 seconds before that.
He was 100% ready to commit to this relationship. And the second Starfire brings up a clue about the case, he's like, no, I'm a hero, nothing else. There's no room for us.
Only justice.
She's like, something feared. He's like, oh my god, that's it.
Psychotech was afraid. Brushogun must be real. We can't make out, sorry.
Which is weird. It's weird that he does that because he was raised by Bruce Wayne. Like, we've seen Bruce.
No. He was not raised by Bruce Wayne. He was raised by Batman.
Yeah.
That is an important distinction.
Bruce Wayne is a mask. Batman is the real man.
And Batman makes out with Catwoman.
Yeah. Batman fucks.
One of those children is his, so... Yeah, Damien's not... He's not in this Teen Titans.
I definitely thought you were talking about the cat.
That's who we named him after.
And on that note... Josh, do the outro.
Okay, check us out on Apple Podcasts, YouTube,
Spotify,
Anchor, anywhere you get podcasts. We got a Facebook, and yeah, so this has been Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo.
Say your name.
I'm Josh.
I'm Jack.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Heather.
Good night, everybody.
Say my name.
Nope, wrong. Wrong DC. Does Batman even say that?
That was a Breaking Bad thing.